Hey my frugal friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Frugality is life. Thank you for stopping by, and if you find my content valuable, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate that. Please ensure that you have also hit that notification bell so you are notified as soon as I upload a new video. Please remember to share this video so other people can also benefit from the content, and so I know you've made it into our frugal family. Please leave a $sign in the comment section below. So what we're going to jump into today, we're going to jump right into it, because guess what? It's time to hold myself accountable. It's been a while since I've updated my list of expenses, and so today that's what we are going to do. Now, if you need to do this exercise as well, grab your paper, grab your pen, grab your iPad, grab your laptop, and let's jump into it. I'll give you a few minutes to grab all those things you need. For me, I'm just gonna go through my list, and I probably just use my calculator to see what my items are gonna be. But for the most part, let's jump into it because it's time for me to be accountable. So today I have my trusted pad folio here. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you." Jeremiah 29 verse 11. I really love this scripture in the Bible. And I believe I saw this book in Winners. And so I just had to grab it because this jumped out at me. Because, hey, you know what? We want to ensure that all our plans are ordained by the Almighty. So here we jump into things. Let's jump into it. I'm going to start with all my expenses fixed first. I'm going to list the amounts, and I'm going to list the due dates. Now, please remember, this is not financial advice. Please do your research. This is my information, and that I'm going to be sharing with you. And this is going to be beneficial as I build out and update my budget, because your budget is something that's always changing. So all you have to do is ensure that you keep on top of everything. Like, amounts may change, things may increase. We're living in the world of inflation, high inflation and high price increases. So just make sure you continuously look at your budget, look at what you're paying, list them out. Come on, list them out. And that's how you'll know something is too high, something, you may be able to negotiate things, different things. But unless you list them out, ensure that you can see them, you won't be able to tackle them and know which ones you may be able to negotiate and which ones you can't. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to start with my fixed expenses. And I'm going to let me just do some headings here. I usually most of my bills are paid bi-weekly because that's when I get paid. But we will list and see where we end up here. So these are fixed, and the first one I'm going to list is my rent here. And remember, I live in Toronto. My rent is pretty affordable for Toronto, because of some sacrifices that I've made. I won't kind of go into those details right now, but my rent is $1,087.27, and it's pretty low for Toronto. Average rent right now in Toronto go for 1 bedroom. I have a 1 bedroom apartment. We'll be going for somewhere about 2,200, somewhere there about on average. No, it's on average. You may find it a little bit lower or a little bit higher. But yeah, so that's my rent, and this is paid monthly. And for this purpose, I'm just going to use March because that's the upcoming month. And so these are going to be realistic dates. So this is due March 1st. Okay, and then I'm going to add onto here my car loan. On my car loan, I pay, this is paid bi-weekly, and I pay $240.46 bi-weekly. And as I said, this is bi-weekly. And these are for March. They'll be due the 14th. And March 28th, I believe. So these will automatically be pulled from my account on those days. And then insurance. My insurance. And this is car and apartment. And I pay for my car $220. I think $220.40, I believe. And $52.18 for my apartment insurance. Now these are all our household expenses, so I'm just listing everything, and of course me and my husband, we will pay them. And these come out monthly. I actually have the same insurance company. I got both my car and apartment from them in order to save some money. But after I've listed this, I'll show you ones that you can go back and negotiate, because they're ones that I've been able to negotiate and continuously do so. And these are gonna come out, my insurance usually comes out on the 25th of the month. So these are going to be March 25th. Yeah, so they come out at the same time because they're the same company. And then my phone, I'm with a company called Bell. And this is our phone, actually, me and my husband's phone. Now you'll see this amount is pretty high. We signed on for a 2-year contract for each phone. And so, yeah, if you're in the US and you look at this number, probably this is astronomical compared to what you pay, because I've heard the stories about the US and how much, you know, you guys pay there. That is way less. But of course, you guys have more competition than we do. We don't have that much competition to go to different phone companies. Usually, I think there is probably about 2 companies here, major companies, and they own smaller ones. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting the same too. So not a lot of wiggle room, but I do, as I said, at the end, after I list everything, I'll go back through the ones that you can negotiate. And this is paid monthly. And this usually comes out about on the 13th of every month. And then I have internet. The company I'm with is called Rogers. And this is about $62.14. Again, it comes out monthly. And it's about the 9th of every month that this comes out. And then subscription Netflix. Now, this one, I remember when Netflix I was paying like $9.99, and look how much it is now. This is one that I'm not sure how long I will be keeping Netflix in the future. Of course, you know, the controversial things that are going on with them, where they are trying for you not to share your account. I got Netflix so I could share my account with my family in Jamaica. So if I'm not able to share it, then I may not continue with Netflix. But I guess we shall see. Of course, this comes out monthly, and I believe this is on the 16th of the month. And then I also have an Apple subscription. I used to pay $1, I think 46 for this, somewhere like that. But I recently upgraded with all the videos that I create and stuff on One in Space to the 200 gigabytes. I used to pay $1.46 for the 50 gigabyte storage. Now I've upgraded to this, but again, I'm gonna look to see my options here, because I don't want to be paying this much for just gigabytes to store stuff. And this comes out on the 20th of each month. And then I also have a movie box, or I think it's called an Android box. I pay $7 a month. This is where I get all my movies and stuff. I get also the local channels, everything I get on this box. $7 a month. But I've paid this up for a long time because I thought I had owed some months, and I actually made a double payment, as well as some other stuff. So now, like, I'm paid up for a couple years, I would say. So I'll leave that one blank right now. So if we were to get a total of all these, let's see. Let's see what this comes out to. So this is actually 4.80. That's the total. And then let's do the variable expenses. Now this will not include any savings. This will not include any debts. Like, this is just my high priority, etc. type of expenses. But we will talk about debt and savings in another video. So variable expenses, I have my hydro. No, this one gives me nightmares, and this is because, again, looking at my rent, my hydro is not included. And talking about sacrifices, I live in an older like 4-story walk-up building in Toronto, and I've lived here for a few years now, so that's why my rent is this low. And also because I pay hydro in addition to this amount, and the hydro is crazy. Like, in the summertime it could be like $60. In the winter time it can be over $200, and I absolutely hate that. But because it's not a energy efficient building, like, this can go crazy, and it's baseboard heating. And then this comes out monthly, and this is usually about maybe the 17th. And then I have the 407. Now this is very, very like random. If I would jump on the 407, depends if I'm going somewhere for work, and usually that gets expensed to my company, or if I'm going to Niagara Falls or something and I want to jump on the 407. Sometimes I jump on the 407 just to save time if I'm going somewhere in rush hour. If I wanted to go to Oshawa or something, and it's rush hour and I want to jump on the 407, so the 407 is a paid highway. And so I have the transponder, so I believe I pay a yearly fee for the transponder. It's pretty low. I can't remember now, so I need to check what that is. But it's a yearly fee. I can't remember if it's like $20 or something per year. And then you pay per as you use it, right? So and also based on the kilometers, etc. So this one is very variable, and so I'll leave that blank. But sometimes I do use it. I haven't used it. I think I used it twice last year, so I don't really use it much. And then I have parking. Now this parking, because I live in Toronto, like at my building there's parking, but it's included in this amount, one parking spot. And if you need other parking related services, then you park on the street, and then you have to pay through the city. But this parking is when I go into my office, because it's downtown Toronto and parking is crazy downtown. So we found a very cheap parking. It's not the fanciest of places. It's underground. It's very creepy, but it's $10 a day. It's probably the cheapest you're ever gonna find downtown Toronto. So it's $10 a day, and I go into the office 1 to 2 times a week. So it depends on how. This could be between 40 and $80 a month. And then gas is also a variable expense. My budget for gas is always $60 regardless of how much it gives me, because with the rise in prices in gas, like, it's crazy. I'm not gonna put $100 in my car. Also, I don't drive that much anymore, and so usually I either do 60 to 120 per month. Yeah, so I don't drive that much anymore. And then grocery. No, this is the other thing that gives me absolute nightmare, because the grocery right now, the grocery store prices are crazy, absolutely crazy. So I usually get, sometimes I order meals from HelloFresh, and so that will reduce the amount I pay in grocery. But sometimes I want to cook in larger batches because my husband works the US, and so he goes weekly to there, and so we like to cook a good amount of meals so he can take with him, so he's not buying food on the road. And so in that case, we usually go to the grocery store to either subsidize the HelloFresh boxes, or we just pause HelloFresh for that month, and we just buy the groceries that we need in order for him to take and go. So this can be crazy. Bi-weekly, I budget $150. But this could be like $150 to $250 bi-weekly, depends. I try to keep it at the absolute lowest. And right now, like, we're trying to mix up, what we are eating, and eat more healthy foods. And if eating healthy is so costly, right? So it will pretty much be more mid to high tier for eating more healthy, because of course you will have to buy your vegetables maybe every week or so. So yeah, to keep them fresh. So yeah, this is crazy. It gives me absolute nightmare. I stay away from grocery store as long as I can, and I repurpose every single thing in my fridge and in my cupboards before I need to go. But this is absolutely crazy, and this is a 2-people household. I cannot imagine for anyone who has to buy for, with additional kids and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy out here. So this, I would say, bi-weekly. And then laundry, again, because I live in a rental apartment, I have to pay for laundry, and I usually budget $40. And this could be a month, can be for 2 weeks. It depends. Like, depends on how much I need to do laundry. And then I'll put here my nails. I do my hair myself, me and my husband right now. I used to go to my hairdresser to get it done. Depends if I'm going on vacation, I will go to her to get braids and stuff like that. My last vacation in December, I actually looked at YouTube, and watched some tutorials, and I was able to do my hair myself, and I got lots of compliments. So it depends. If I have time in the future, I may still do that to save on some money. But right now, me and my husband do my hair, and I just go and get my nails. And usually I do this once. I realized that I used to do this once every month, every 4 weeks, and the last couple of times it's been once every 3 weeks. So that I have to look into, and I need to push it back to 4 weeks, because listen, I don't need to be doing my nails every 3 weeks. I only get paid twice a month, so I need to ensure that I'm only going once every 4 weeks. My nails has been really thriving. These are actually my nails, and I do the gel nail, the gel application, and my nails are naturally thick, and this has really, like, expedited the growth of my nails, and so that's why I think I was going every 3 weeks, because I hated to see that space. But that's why I also do French, because French does not show that gap as much as like colored nails does. So that's kind of one way that I use to cut back on how frequently I go to the nail salon. But I think after my next appointment, because I always have to pre-book, I'm going to ensure that it's every 4 weeks and not every 3 weeks. So if I only get my a manicure, then it's 45. If I get a pedicure, sometimes it goes up to 85. But a pedicure I only do once every 2 months or so, if it's not in the summer. In the summertime, I probably do it once a month, but in the winter, come on. All I need to do is change the polish, and I probably do that every 2 months. And then I kind of do my own pedicure stuff at home to save on cost. And I think those are my variable expenses. So if I add these lowest to highest amount, let's see. So 60, 40, 60, 150. Actually, this should be 300 because it's we're doing it per month. And then 40, 45. So this could be between 545 to, let's see, wow. Yeah, so this is way too much. So let's see, we talked about seeing ways that we can reduce expenses, and the fixed expenses, the addressable ones and the non-addressable ones. So I would say my rent is non-adjustable, or addressable, I want to say. That's because your rent is your rent. My car loan is the same. My insurance, this is something that I will be calling to see if I can get a better rate here, because I've been driving for a while, no accidents, same with my husband. And so I will see if I can get a better rate here. My phone, I actually just reduced this by, I think, $8, and I increased my data by 25 more gigabytes. So I think in total, me and my husband share, I want to say 75 gigabytes. It's a lot. Like, we share a lot, because if I'm not able to get the cost down, best believe I'm going to get something for my money. And so we have a lot of data. So this is one that you can also negotiate. I negotiate this every single chance I get. And I always get something. Either I get more data or I get the cost down. My preference sometimes is to get the cost down. Depends, because I don't use a lot of data. I use a lot of Wi-Fi, but my husband uses data a lot. Internet, this is one that I negotiate all the time. I like, even to switch to a provider. I was with Bell and it was crazy, so I switched to Rogers, and I've been with Rogers for a long time. This is like their best package: fast upload, fast download, fastest. And so I pay $62.14, but I know that there are other providers now. Depends on where you are in the city. If you're downtown Toronto, further downtown Toronto, then there are other companies coming on the scene that you can get cheaper internet with. But my building, this is the best I can get. Netflix, as I said, yeah, this one is questionable. Apple, I'm gonna look into this one, and that one is pretty good. So yeah, I think for the most part, those are my, it's outside of hydro, not much you can do here. I guess we pay what we use, but unless I move this from this building, I won't be able to reduce this amount. So yeah, I hope this was informative to you, and that you have been encouraged to go back and update your list of expenses for March. I will be ensuring that I do this exercise every month or before the coming month, just so I can keep track if I was able to negotiate anything down. And like, I always negotiate my bills, the ones that I can, because you have every dollar counts. Don't just look at your bill and say, hey, this is so high. When you see that that's a lot, go back to your provider and negotiate. Always negotiate, because they have room where they can reduce these amounts that they are charging you. But if you don't ask, nobody will offer. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Before you leave, please make sure that you like and you have liked this video, and that you have put your $sign in the comment section below. And finally, please remember to share this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. Bye for now. Keep budgeting, stay frugal, and walk good. Bye.